Hiya! Hope you're okay, everybody, and enjoying this incredible weather. Although it is hot tonight, there's no air, there's no breeze. But I am glad to be back, although I do miss Bali. So I wanted to fill you in on kind of what Bali was about and how I feel like a new woman, like I said on my status. And if you've ever been to Bali, it's one of the most magical places I've ever been. And I've been there before once, and it was a bit of a party. Hi, Jay. It was a bit of a party last time, and I went with two friends. And then this time we arrived at a place which was just like a hut. It was like a basic hut, and I thought, oh, this is taking me back to Asia days, where it's just avoiding the mozzies and you've got the nets around the bed. That was the first night, and then we went to the luxurious retreat the following night. And so I met 7 other women, and there was a guy there. Hello, Tracy. And you never know what to expect. Hey, Nikki. You never know what to expect. You don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know who you're going to connect with. You've got all these women coming into this environment, ready for change, and everybody's on their own journey. And that's what makes it even more exciting, because one, you see everybody grow and you see everybody develop and break down their barriers and whatever they're facing. And everybody's unique, everybody's incredible, everybody learns from one another. And so you go through this journey together, and you create this bond that is probably, for me, it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. And I just feel so grateful to be a part of it. It was magical. It made me step into, even one night I sang, which I love singing, but it makes me really nervous. But I just embraced it. I just had no expectations. And when you have no expectations and you let your barriers down, then that's where the magic happens. That's where you'll grow and that's where you'll develop, because, it's cliche to say that things happen when you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. But when you let down your barriers and you've got nothing to lose, all you can do is gain, and you learn things about yourself. I am not singing on here. You're in an environment that is kind of included, you feel connected, and you just end up doing things, that help you find yourself and help you be true and help you find your passion and find what it is that sets your heart on fire. And it's just about discovery. And I don't think there's anything better than helping you find your true self, helping you discover your purpose, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, and sometimes we don't even have the opportunity to tap into them things. We go through life and we live a program. And that's something that I've discovered over, doing personal development over time, in that more often or not, we are living a program. I know that I was kind of you go to school, you end up, hi Sophie, you end up most people spend 70% of their time living in kind of survival or stress. And so some of us seek what other people are doing. Some of us listen to what other people say. When we're not in tune with our emotions, imagine asking somebody else how you should feel. And so when you get to 35 or 40 or above, you can be confused about who you really are. And how do you know who you really are unless you kind of peel away them layers? And how will you know? You'll know because you'll feel unhappy. You'll feel that part of you isn't fulfilled. And you'll either be sacrificing part of that because you don't think you deserve more, or you'll be sacrificing some of your happiness because you don't believe in yourself. You don't think you're worth it. And so most people live in a state of fear, live in a state of protection, because it's easier living in that state rather than trying something new or following their heart. Or most people live in fear of rejection, fear of what other people think. And so it will come round to either force you to change. You'll end up feeling unhappy, you'll end up feeling lost, you'll end up feeling maybe lonely or misunderstood, because when you don't live your truth, you don't live like finding out who you really are, not who other people think you are, not who you try to be when you're in different environments, different friendship groups, different settings. You find out who you really are. And that is uncomfortable, which is why a lot of people won't necessarily do it. But it's almost like, imagine having this barrier up, and in here is kind of sadness. On the other side of that is happiness. But most people feel comfortable. Hi, Rachel. Most people will make themselves feel comfortable in that kind of sadness barrier, and they won't go over that barrier because that's fearful. That is the unknown. And sometimes it's just easier living with crap. It's easier living with the uncertainty of being certain. And so you just end up in this confused state of thinking, who am I? And then you end up, comparing yourselves to other people, or you might not believe in yourself, so you won't take action. When you start this road, exactly, so many people reflect the person they think they want others to see. And that's like, we're thrown into school, we're thrown into friendships, we're thrown into these environments, and we lose ourselves. We lose who we are. And this journey for me has been huge. And I just love it. I think that there's nothing better than discovering who you are, because imagine that's when you find happiness, when you love who you are. And that's not an easy process. Yes, Rachel, come and see me. It's not an easy process, but isn't it worth it when you can start to make decisions from truth, like start to make decisions from your own knowing that you can trust yourself, you can make good decisions, that you value who you are. When you're at that level, then you can start to you feel that you make good decisions. You're making decisions on your life based on your views, not anybody else's, not through approval, not through pleasing other people, not trying to keep other people happy. The amount of people that I work with, that I've broken it down, and actually they're living a life to make other people happy. They're living a life to make life secure. They're living a life to have that certainty. Whereas when you live that life and you think that you're creating a life of certainty, actually you're still living a life of fear. You're still living in trying to create the life that you think is going to bring you happiness. It's like when you try to find the person or the relationship that you want, that you think is going to make you happy. Whereas you can't be happy or truly happy unless you're happy with you and yourself, because otherwise, how do you know that you are falling in love with somebody that you love, that it sounds confusing. How do you know that you are going to meet someone that is in love with you if you don't know who you are? And I think I'd been conditioned to be in an emotional state that was kind of content, that was going to school, that was doing uni, that was having the relationships, that was getting married, that, all these things that we're kind of told or we feel that we need to do to fit into society, the pressures to have children, the pressures to be married at a certain age. We all have these pressures, and if we don't do them, we almost feel like we're failing, or we feel like we're not being successful because we're not with the norm. Imagine just following you and what you want to do, and believing in yourself to know that you can achieve anything that you want, that you can have that relationship, that you can have wealth, that you can have happiness. It's not based on anybody else making you happy. It's about you being happy with you first, and then the rest kind of falls into place. So I wanted to come on and talk about how Bali has changed me. We went to see this spiritual healer, and I didn't necessarily believe in things like that. I didn't know how it was going to work, but I honestly feel aligned. I feel happy. I feel content. I feel free. I feel free of kind of burdens of of anything that's restricted me. I honestly feel like I'm 17 again with no inhibitions, like nothing stopping me from kind of progressing, and there's no time limit. You know, what happens, life is life, and you deal with things as they come. And yes, tragedy happens, and yes, heartache happens, but if it happens, it's there to teach you something. It's there to either teach you something about you or what you can teach someone else. And I honestly think that people come into your lives to help you, to help you grow, and to help you, whether they inspire you, whether they make you think, oh, I don't like that about myself, or whether you're getting annoyed with someone else. Either, you know, when you reflect it back on you as to why you're being annoyed or why that makes you feel angry, it's teaching you something. It's teaching you something about how you can be the best that you want to be, and what do you need to learn about you that's going to make you a better person. And for me, that is, I'm learning so much about me so I can help other people get exactly the same. Because I honestly think that people, it's like when you're planting a garden, you have to get rid of all the weeds. You have to tender the soil in order to then make room for a new garden. So if you're living a life that's on repeat, that isn't working for you, now's the time to think, do I want to change it? And do I need to get rid of all the baggage, the crap, the emotions that I'm holding on to, that are unnecessary to hold on to, in order for you to grow? And when you become consciously aware of this, that the patterns that we all have patterns. When you become consciously aware that we have them, whether they are supporting you, whether they are kind of sabotaging you, when you're aware of your patterns, then you can change them. And it allows you, when you have change, when you have clarity, then you can change it. And when you have clarity, you can then manage your emotions, because you can think clearly about them. Your emotions don't have to control you. Your emotions don't have to, you know, not being in control of your emotions affects you having that fulfilling and long-lasting relationship that you seek and that you want. In order to feel fulfilled, that's what you need in order to manage your emotions, to help you feel like you're in control in a healthy way. You know, it's crazy we seek explanations from other people on how we're feeling. Like, should I feel like that? Nobody knows you like you know you. So this is your journey alone. Some people will take the path of kind of looking at why they do what they do. You know, if it's destroying you, if it's causing you problems, this is the time to really evaluate, and whether you want to go on that discovery to say, actually, I'm not happy and I am settling and I don't want to settle anymore. And, you know, only you know whether it's being destructive. And this is about whether you want to be honest, whether you want to be truthful, to know whether you're actually self-sabotaging. And this work that I do and the support that I give is about helping you grow into the person that you want to be, because when you do that, that is when you'll feel fulfilled, and that is when you'll feel happy. You cannot rely or ask anybody else to make you happy. It's not about them doing X, Y, and Z and them loving you in a certain way. It's not about them being happy. It's not about them providing for you. It's not about if they make the changes, I'll be happy. It's about you making the changes in you, and you raising your standards, what your expectations are, and having a belief in you that you deserve more. And when you start to believe in yourself, when you start to change your own environment, when you change your environment, the environment around you change. So you cannot change anybody. It's about changing yourself first in order to be able to change what is around you. And that is where the confidence comes in you, to know that you deserve everything. You deserve happiness, but it starts with you. Love starts with you. As cliche as that is, when you start to love you, you raise your standards because you know that you deserve more. So I hope this has helped. I know it's sunny outside. You're probably having barbecues and things. But if you think this will help anybody, please like or share or comment. If you think this might help, reach out to me, drop me a message. I know how powerful what I do is and how it can help you. And it's changing my life, and I just want everyone to feel alive and free like I do. So if you want to reach out, message me and I can help you on your discovery, on your path to finding out who you are, where you want to go in life, what you want to do, and how you can achieve it. So thank you all for tuning in. Much love as always, and take care. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.